Hey guys, welcome to the May 2019 budget with me. Let's just get started here on the income. I will not have AdSense this month. I ended up earning about $70 from the channel for April, and of course that's going to increase as I am able to put a little more time into it and get some more videos made. But for right now, let's just set this at 0 for the month. And then I'm going to skip Paycheck for right now. We're going to come back to it. But let's look at referral income. You'll see it's May 1st when I'm filming this, and I've already made $1,000 referral income. That was the Instacart referral that I was expecting to have come in last month. But I don't think that I'm going to have any more of this coming in, at least not this month. So I'm going to change that right to 1,000. So it's right on what it's going to be. And then I kind of had a surprise. I haven't had any recruits for Lyft. And in fact, I'm kind of on my way out with the Lyft program after they cut our pay. But I did have somebody that just applied a couple days ago and is already approved, which is super quick through that process. He just has to literally take his first ride and I'll be paid out $100. So I think I can convince him to do that. And that's $100 that I'll be getting for that. Now with Paycheck, this is a little bit complicated. I'm going to try to calculate this as we go because I do have a weird pay schedule, and also I just got the raise, so I should be getting a check on May 15th and a check on May 31st. But those checks, I believe, double check this. That first check is going to be for 11 days. And so that's going to be 88 hours. And it looks like the second check is also going to be for 88 hours. So I'm hoping I'm not calculating that wrong, but let's say 88 times 2, that's 176 hours. So we're going to multiply that by my new rate of pay, which is $16 an hour. And that should be $2,816. And this is partially an increase because of the pay raise and partially an increase because May is a longer month, and because my pay isn't every 2 weeks, it's on some weird schedule. If it's a longer month, it actually has a sometimes the checks are more than others. Now the 2816, truthfully, that's I should change this. If I approximate, okay, so if I approximate what it's going to be after taxes, I'm going to say that it's 2534. All right. Now this of course does not include any kind of overtime. And while I can get a few hours overtime a week right now, they're not pushing us to do overtime, but that can change at any time. And I mean, yeah, if they allow it, I'm going to do it. And just so you guys know, with my new pay raise, my overtime rate is going to be $24 an hour. So I'll get as much of that as I can. And that should do it for income this month. If TaskRabbit, my background check, comes through, I will have some stuff coming in from that, hopefully as well. But it looks like we're going to be okay so far for what's budgeted. As far as expenses, it looks like we're $583 in the green. And auto insurance, auto payment, those are going to be the same. Gas, I went over this so much last month. And I know that it's going to be warm out, and Memorial Day weekend is the end of this month. So gas prices are going to go up. I'm going to change this, and I don't remember what it was before, but I'm going to change it to $75. I might not actually use that much, but let's just see how that goes at the end of the month. Bills and utilities, I'm going to leave the same. And the phone, I'm going to leave the same for now. I am a little bit behind still on paying that, but once I get that paid off, I think the bill is now like $70 a month. But right now I'm paying like a 525 or 575 a month late fee. Plus, I'm always just a little bit behind. There's like a partial past due amount constantly, but with this new pay raise, I'll be able to take care of that every month and get that down. And then this is the one that has to change, unfortunately. It just went up last month to $310 and something for Navient. Well, now on top of that, I have to pay $60.28 to my other student loan provider. So let's see how much that's going to be. So it's going to be $371.28. So I'm going to change this to 372 so that it doesn't say I'm over budget when I hit the right amount. And it's cutting it a little closer than I'd like to be there. Groceries, I just kind of have to leave where they are. As I kind of discussed in my April 2019 budget review, I think I figured out a way to reduce this budget. Essentially, I found a different type of like TV dinner that is about half the price of what I was paying for before. I also found out that if you buy those at Kroger, every time you buy them, you get a 75-cent off coupon. So that'll help some too. Hopefully that'll work. Then restaurants, I'm going to leave at $100. The one thing that I do need to tell you guys, between fast food, groceries, and well, maybe not so much groceries, but fast food and restaurants, these are probably just going to be blown. These budgets will just be destroyed this month. And I'm still going to do the best I can. I've been doing fairly okay with these, but I am going on that business trip Memorial Day weekend. And that means that I am going to have to eat out some because I think my hotel room has a mini fridge. But beyond that, I'm going to be traveling around a lot. And in fact, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm going to a business dinner. So obviously I have to eat out for that. One of the things, though, is that it may, if it's clearly a business expense, it's going to go down here in business expenses. I will try to keep them separated, but some of them I can't exactly do that. And then it's not going to be in these budgets, but I do have to buy some stuff for my mom. She said, honestly, there wasn't that much stuff, so hopefully that's the case because I don't have a lot to spend. But I will be visiting her, so I'll have to run some errands for her. And then no donations, not planning on going to the doctor. Yeah, rent, this is going to be the same. Renter's insurance, the same. Storage, the same. Although I will mention that when I'm down visiting my mom, I am going to the storage unit and I'm going to be grabbing some stuff out of it to potentially sell those items, but also potentially cleaning out the storage unit to move to a smaller one, if that's possible. Let's talk about business expenses because these are going to change quite a bit. Essentially, I know I have $500 in business expenses. Today, I got paid that $1,000, and I do split that with the person who earned it. So I'm going to be sending him 500. I also know that I am going to have some expenses involved in this trip, and I don't know what I can put as a business expense and what I can put as an expense, just a regular expense. But I'm going to try to estimate this the best that I can. My estimate of how much I need to put into this is $270 approximately for this trip. That is 2 nights at the hotel, and it's the price of the rental car. I can't remember exactly if that includes the insurance on the rental car. I am, of course, going to have to get gas for the rental car, which I'm estimating to probably be 2 tanks of gas. So let's add like $60, like $30 per tank. So that's going to be approximately $330 For meals and stuff, let's add another 20, and that's $350. Yeah. So essentially, obviously, this trip is meant to build income. It's to plant a seed that is going to build income in the future. So it's not a total waste of money to do this. I am going to do some other things like go see my mom while I'm down there, visit cemeteries for Memorial Day, but it is essentially a business trip, and that's why I'm justifying putting this money into it. So let's just say, with the estimate of the hotel room, the car, the gas for the car, let's add $350 to the $500 that I have to pay out. That's going to put me at $850, which probably is going to put me negative for the month. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about this. Oh, okay, no, I've still got $200, so all right. And then I will try to reduce this if I at all can. To explain a little bit more about just what I'm doing with this, I was trying to cash flow this and use the overtime that I was getting in order to cash flow it, which actually I could have totally done. The problem that I ran into is that I got Airbnb gift cards, saved 5% off on those. So saving money doing Airbnb rather than a hotel. Then I saved off the Airbnb by buying at a Target with my red card and got 5% off. I got myself stuck where the person didn't respond to me in time. And by the time they did actually respond to me, I'd already booked a hotel, which is not, I can't cancel. Like, not even for a fee, they won't let me cancel. So what I did is I actually put it on, well, the hotel is reserved on my credit card. So I have not used my credit card for anything since October, and obviously I'm working on paying that down. So what I did is all of the paychecks, the paycheck I got yesterday, the paycheck I'll get on the 15th, and then the one just after the trip that'll come in at the end of the month, the overtime from all those paychecks is just going to be paid toward the credit card. So essentially, it should take the credit card down to the amount it was before these charges were added to it. That's the game plan. All right. And then to move on to clothing, I absolutely have to get jeans this month. And I might have to get a pair of shorts, but I might be able to put that off. But I do need jeans because, yeah, they've worn a hole in the garage, so I just can't really wear them. And then, of course, everything else, there's, of course, going to be things in there this month. But let's go over to the goals and see if we can edit these at all. Okay, so as I said, I expect that I get 88 and 88 as the number of hours on my paychecks, and that makes it 176. So let's edit this one just a little bit. So we'll say $176. All right. Okay, so $176 this month for that. Paying off credit card. This is roughly the minimum payment on the big credit card, so that's going to stay the same. Second student loan, I am paying that through Navient. That's my big $310 payment. And retirement, I'm not contributing, but so far, just today, I've earned $8 on that. This is the one thing that I will be contributing to. So I'm not going to change it in this budget, but for June's budget, I should remember to change this. My goal is $2,000. And essentially, after this business trip is cash flowed and or anything that needs paid off for putting it on the credit card from this trip, I mean, that's all going to come from the overtime that I get. After that, the overtime is going to be going to the moving fund. I don't have a lot of details yet, but I found out that I do have to move out of my apartment when my lease expires in November, possibly a little bit after. I might be able to buy myself a little bit more time depending on when they actually do it. But essentially, my apartment complex is remodeling all the apartments, which therefore I would expect them to jack up the rent and me not be able to afford it. But they also, at the same time, are becoming a low income community, and I make too much. Doesn't seem like it, I know, but I actually make too much to qualify. So I do have to find a new place. There's a whole bunch of details that go into that and things to consider and how this is going to change things. Uh, I wish it wasn't the case. I wish I could just stay still and not pay moving expenses, not have the stress, and ultimately have to pay more for some place. But it is the way it is, and I really can't do anything about it. So there was a meeting last night with the apartment association that I wasn't able to go to because I had to work, but I'm waiting to hear the details of that meeting. And if I find that out, anything more than just I have to move, I might make a video to update you guys. But other than that, it is going to throw off my debt payoff a little bit. Well, I mean, somewhat, because I'm not going to be throwing all that overtime toward paying off my small credit card. Um, but it is going to be saved in a savings account up until this $2,000. So it'll still show up my net worth. It'll still help me out. But unfortunately, a lot of that's going to go to moving. And I realize it's not going to cost me $2,000 to move, but it's just an estimate. And I'm thinking renting a moving truck, hiring people to help me move, deposit for a new place. So I just want to make sure that I have enough. And this was just the number that I made up for that. So anyway, guys, it's going to be an interesting month. I haven't left Columbus in over a year. So, we'll see how I do budget wise when I actually have to travel. And then with switching gears to save for moving instead of paying off debt, that's going to add some things to it too. So hopefully you guys think I'm doing planning this okay. Let me know down in the comments. And I promise you guys I will get some real content videos out to you this month.